try it again. Bounced it hard.
All
Bounced
right.
it hard, as you can see.
Yeah, Don, as you're
Ahead,
showing us basically what would be a touch and go, but it looked like some pretty hard little hits there as they're trying to shake that out. I don't know, on a plane like this, obviously they don't have some sort of a hydraulic, manual hand crank, but we did see him hit the ground there relatively hard a couple of times. That's probably about as hard as a plane like this can hit.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I'm not really too familiar with this aircraft, but it does obviously have a landing here in the nose of it, and I'm not exactly sure how it works. But we're 5 miles away from the airport, and as you can see right now, he's turning toward us, but he is still some distance away. We're fortunate that we have a camera lens that can pick this up this far away, but as you can see, there's certainly nothing out of the front end of it. Now he's retracted the landing gear, and maybe he's going to try it again. Yes, he is. He's going to try it again.
Keeps on trying to work those hydraulics to see if maybe they can get that other gear down. Because
Exactly.
Don, as we can see from your shot here, there's for folks that are looking here at home, 2 wheels in the back of the plane, and there should be 1 little wheel sticking out in the front there, so we can see them working this landing gear, getting it back up inside that plane, and then hitting that hydraulic button to try to get them back down again. And unfortunately, we still aren't seeing that front wheel that we should be seeing from here.
That's exactly right, Alona. Apparently, this happened on the approach, and he was quite a ways out from the airport here. We actually had to wait for him to make the approach for the first time that we saw him, which is about 10 minutes ago. And then as he made the flyby to the control tower, we noticed
did you see the plane?
Did
you see look at this plane area?
Side of the aircraft. So I'm not exactly sure what the instructions are. I can't hear the tower. Our pilot, Kim Page, can. He's kind of relaying the information from the tower to the airplane itself. We don't know how many people are on board. We don't know where it was originated from, but they're trying to get the landing gear down, everything that they possibly can. And of course, if they can't, then they're going to have to kind of feather this thing in and try to keep it on 2 wheels. Try it on 2 wheels until they get as slow as the plane will absolutely get, and then hopefully the thing will come to a stop without any major damage to the plane or the occupants themselves.
It seems like something else is having to deal with as well, Don, is on that initial approach that we saw. It seemed like the wind is definitely a factor out there this afternoon. We could see the plane kind of tilting from side to side once he got close to that runway. Do you know if the wind is somewhat of a factor this afternoon?
Well, it is. As far as we are concerned, there was a good 25-knot tailwind coming up here. Wind is out of the south this afternoon, and so we got here in pretty quick time, but making time back, it's going to take a while to get back, and probably about half the speed because the wind is so strong.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. Look at the plane out there. I just see it.
Try one more time to bounce the nose gear out of this private aircraft that's up here at Hooks Airport. So hopefully this time they will be able to get the thing out. We're going to watch as they make another attempt at breaking this front landing gear out of its compartment underneath the nose of this aircraft.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. They're right behind the tower. They're going to do another bounce there. And actually, yep, no, they still haven't gotten that down. They'll do another one. And it looks like they're not really having a lot of success. The good news in a case like this is that they, hopefully have plenty of fuel. So, as you've said, they've cleared your airspace. Doing another bounce, still not able to do that. But, if they clear that airspace, they've got time to keep their wits about them, make another run around it. And, we know that there's a lot of student pilots there at Hooks, a very large number of private planes and a lot of people training. Is your pilot hearing that there could be a student pilot on board here, or do we not know that at this point?
No, we don't know at this point. I do know that there is a large contingent, and actually a company out here that does train pilots, and that does not look like one of those aircraft that is used for training rookie pilots, those that are trying to gain their pilot's license.
Okay.
He's going to make another pass past us once again, go back up to the north to make another southern landing. But as you saw when we panned down there across the
There it goes again.
you can see all of the emergency vehicles out there. So up having to make an emergency landing here without that front landing gear. There's plenty of emergency crews standing by just in case something does happen to the occupants.
We know information is limited on this particular plane, Don, but from the discussions you and the pilot have had there in Sky IT, it looked like this is an older aircraft.
You know, I really don't know how old the aircraft is. Kim, do you know how old this aircraft is approximately? We don't. It's really hard to take a guess. It does have a retractable landing gear, so it's not a tail dragger from the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah, so you sort of walked us through this, but what they'll try to do if they're not able to get that landing gear down, and you know, certainly this is something that pilots do train for. You mentioned this, they're going to have to get, you know, very nicely lined up with the runway, try to bring their speed down to the absolute lowest speed they can without stalling that plane, and then get the back landing gear on the ground, and then just try to slowly bring the nose down onto the runway. No doubt it'll do some major damage to the aircraft, but in terms of injuries, this is something to some extent that they plan for. Of course, they can never actually do it in person, but that'll be the plan, is possibly they come back around for this next approach.
Well, let's hope that they get the thing on the ground here safely. It appears as though that the pilot does have some experience and has done everything that he knows how to do to get that front landing gear to pop down. And we're waiting to get information from the tower that will actually stand by all of the emergency crews out there and let them know that he is coming in for an emergency landing. But in the meantime, as you can see, he keeps putting up and down the landing gear that does work, trying to shake loose that front nose gear right underneath the propeller in the front of it.
All right, and this is going to be, what, the third approach now, right, Don? Or did he get any other approaches in before we came to you live?
No. As a matter of fact, when you came to me, that was the first approach. You caught me just as we found him heading in. We've been waiting for him for about 5 minutes. He was quite a ways out when he realized that his nose gear wasn't down. And he had called and did some circling until the emergency crews could arrive here on the scene, which only took just a couple of minutes. But he's been aware of this for a while. We got the call, and we're here within about 5 minutes from our news desk. And this has been an ongoing situation for him now for about 10, 15 minutes or so.
Okay. And Hooks Airport has a nice long runway, and as you said, they've got the emergency crews on standby down there, and they've got a lot of room to try to let this plane, you know, hopefully slow down quickly once it does touch the ground.
That's right, Alona. It is a controlled airspace. It does have a controlled tower here, and not all of these private runways do. But this is a major hub out here in the northwest side of town.